I don't really know how to make it seem like the last property is good to be violated. It's so obvious that we all expect it from a database. It's durability. And reminder, this is that once a database says it has information, then it doesn't forget it. I mean, isn't that obvious? That's what a database should do. And it is critical that we're using a database as our storage, permanent, archival, retrieval, and long-term mechanism. If the database can somehow lose that data after it's happened, that's obviously bad. So instead, what I'm maybe argue is how this could happen. And one reason I said is, what if the data is stored in memory? And that could be problematic if that's a problem if the computer crashes. And you might say, well, who would ever be so silly to store it in memory? We know that's volatile. Well, in here you need to remember that disks are slow, memory is fast, and so an operating system might say, yes, I've written your files to a disk, and actually lie to a program, intending on eventually saving it to a disk. And if it doesn't quite get to that by the time the computer crashes, that lie can be quite costly. So that could be a problem. But what if it's stored on removable storage that gets lost? So that's a problem if it's lost. And we could go on. It's stored on, I'll just put any media, which is almost always going to be true. Well, this is a problem if it's damaged. And that could happen in a storm, a fire, and so these are all real things that we want to prevent. Usually a database doesn't think about these kind of issues and focuses more on item number one, and we'll use something like a write-ahead log, write-ahead log, or a WAL, and they can actually get around the operating system lying to them if they do things carefully, or doing things like telling the operating system, I know you're lying to me, write it anyways. I really mean it this time, or whatever. So these are ways that durability can be broken, and we just want to make sure that the database knows about them and tries to deal with them. And sometimes it's user issue, right? The database can't handle your damaged media, but maybe you've got a backup plan. Maybe you don't let storage offsite or whatever. So durability is essential and I hope completely obvious.